Well, hello, everyone. It is Friday, June the 13th, 2025. I am Doug. It's time once again to play Wordle, and it is Friday, Friday the 13th. And what we do on Fridays here is what we call Fearless Friday. We do two things. First of all, we turn on hard mode, so no evaluation words will be allowed. And then secondly, we pick a suboptimal starting word. And boy, do we have a suboptimal starting word for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear from Be No More Deceived, who writes in, how about pizzazz for a Fearless Friday? That's right. That is probably on the Mount Rushmore of difficult starting words. 3 Z's in this bad boy. We've used it a few times before, but this is always a good one to circle around to every now and again. This will up the difficulty level substantially for our Fearless Friday. So, without any further ado, let's see if we can work our way out of this conundrum with pizzazz. All right. No Z's lit up. No letters lit up, actually. So the good news here is that we are able to pick anything we want for the second guess. I think that we will go ahead and use... let's see. What do we want to do here? There's a few possibilities. We'd probably be well advised to try and get 2 vowels in here, right? How about shore? S-H-O-R-E. That'll put 2 of the remaining classic vowels in. S-H and R. Actually, hold on. Audible. Calling an audible here. Store. The most common letters possible. Let's get the most common 5 letters we can. And hopefully, of course, we'll get something for that. So here we go is the answer to today's puzzle. The word store. No, it's not. Oh, wow. I thought we were going to actually run the table on that. We do have an E, and it's in position. That's a good thing. So, okay. We have I, U, and Y we could look at. Probably, there's also, I guess, potentially a second E in here, maybe. But a lot to think about here. Now, strategically... we could get the U and the I looked at if we did something like guile, G-U-I-L-E. If nothing else, that really gives us a lot of intel here. I don't think we're going to have a Y in play. So we can at least know if there's a U or an I in there. And if the U and the I don't light up, there may well, I think you then kind of almost assume we're going to be dealing with another E in this puzzle somewhere. But I think guile at least gives us a lot of possibility to get some good direction here. So I think that's what we're going to do next. So here we go. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word guile? No, it's not. And oh, our fortunes have turned for the better. Holy Toledo. Okay, so we know there's an I here. And we have a G and an L have joined the party as well. Now that I, we know it's not going to be in the 4th spot. So I think the most likely place that we're going to be looking to see this I is going to be in the 2nd position. So now that begs the question, what do we do with the L and the G? The L can't be in the 4th spot. It has to be in the 1st or the 3rd. I think that the first thing I want to look at is maybe putting the G in the 4th spot. So the problem here is ILGE doesn't really feel right to me. LI blank GE also doesn't really feel... Well, hold on. Hold on a minute. Maybe that's not necessarily the case. What if we did have a second E? You know what that would give us? Liege, L-I-E-G-E. Now, if it's not the answer, we're getting a heck of a lot of information out of this here. We are most likely going to find out where the L is. We're almost certainly going to get the L figured out, if nothing else by process of elimination. Same thing with the I, because we know it has to be in the 1st or the 2nd spot. So at minimum, I probably have at least 3 things figured out here. And liege actually feels pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually cautiously very optimistic. I think this might be the answer, believe it or not. So let's see if I'm on the right track. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word liege? No, it's not. But look at this. Okay. So we do know that we are, I riddled this, I-L-G-E. So I have to figure out what is the word. Now, it's not an L in the beginning. It's not a G in the beginning. It's not going to be an E at the beginning, so there's no doubles here. Okay, so this is a distinct letter, right? Not Q, not W, not Y. Dilge. Filge is not a word. Hilge is not a word. Gilge, kilge. I think dilge is a word. Silge isn't a word. Vilge, bilge, nilge, milge. Okay. I feel like, boy, this is going to be, whatever this is going to be is a word that is very uncommon, right? I've never heard of milge or nilge as words. Bilge and dilge are the only things I think I could recall ever hearing as words. That I can tell you. Everything else I'm going to rule out. If one of these other letters is an actual word, well, it's a word I've never heard of. And there's nothing I can do about that one. But I think I've heard of dilge and bilge. Dilge feels like it's most likely the answer here. So, look, I'm going to be completely interest of full disclosure. I know I've heard this word. I could not on the spot define it for you. So this is where it's coming. I'm really out on a limb, just trying to think about a word I know I've heard spoken before, even if I can't recall what the definition is. That's where we're at here. And I think dilge and bilge are the only things I could possibly think of. I cannot remember ever hearing words that start with any of the other letters. So that's what I'm going to go with. How worldly am I? Well, we're going to find out, right? So here we go. Fifth guess. Nervousness factor, it's up there. But are we in the right place? Is the answer to today's puzzle the word dilge? Not in the word list. Well, okay. So that means we can take that out of the equation. That's a little nerve-wracking, right? I'm ruling out QWY. D is obviously been ruled out by the puzzle. Filge, I don't think that's a word. Hilge, never heard of. I feel like bilge is the only thing I may have heard of here. So I guess that's my next go-to. Of the two things I thought I had heard, I guess I hadn't. And that, again, makes me a little nervous, right? So, all right, we're going to go here with bilge. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word bilge? Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, again, I'm going to be honest here. I could not give you off the top of my head the dictionary definition, and we don't use any assistance, so I'm sure I'll find out in the comments what the definition of the word bilge is. Bilge and 5 from Pizzazz on Fearless Friday. Good gravy. That was an interesting puzzle, but we survived. Win is maybe a strong word. We survived that one, so there you go. I hope you did survive. Let us know in the comments how you did, especially if you chose Pizzazz as well for your opener. Tomorrow is Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and hopefully have a nice sunny day. It's going to be the word sunny. So hopefully things will maybe be a little bit easier than today, and we'll have a pleasant weekend kicking off that puzzle. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for some more Wordle.